Growing speculation that Meghan Markle went under the knife before her Paris disaster trip designed to traumatize Prince Harry, with that journey through Paris emulating that of
some sort of nose job or plastic surgery. That is a question I have been asking myself after people started to point out that, hey, her nose looks a bit different in her birthday picture.
And of course, I'm no expert on this, but when you look at the before and after images, it starts to...
Something is off about Meghan Markle, guys. And this time, it's not just the tabloids saying it. The internet's practically holding a group intervention. The whispers are getting louder. Nose job, facelift, Ozempic, too much filler, too fast.
You have a app where I create my thumbnails that allows me to put images side by side, which I have noticed somebody already stole and posted somewhere else. But anyways, I'm going to show it to you guys. And this little bit here has...
Whatever it is, that face we saw in Paris wasn't the Meghan people remembered. Her rare unfiltered photos sent shockwaves online. The woman once praised for her glow suddenly looks strained, sculpted, and not quite human. It's got people wondering, is Meghan chasing youth or running from herself?
So different at the Balenciaga show, so I took a closer look. Looking at her appearance from 5 years ago when she was 30.
Let's rewind for context, my friends. Meghan's been carefully crafting her image since long before she married into royalty.
Now at 44, there is a notable shift in how more youthful her face looks, and it looks significantly more defined and lifted. While weight loss can enhance facial definition.
From her Suits days to her Duchess era, every photo, every smile, every interview was part of a brand.
I think she's had an upper and lower blepharoplasty and a face and neck lift. The upper eyelids are more on show.
The modern woman's Cinderella. Smart, poised, and effortlessly gorgeous. But lately, the fairy tale filter has cracked. The internet noticed that her nose looked slimmer, her cheeks more hollow, her eyes strangely pulled.
Slightly altered, and the earlobe position has changed in position and also how it attaches to the face. You can clearly see she takes great care of her skin and non-surgical modalities.
The changes weren't subtle, and the more she appeared in public, the more people asked, what happened? That brings us to Paris. The trip that was supposed to redeem her image. According to insiders, Meghan planned this as her I'm still that girl moment. Elegant, independent, and high fashion.
Here in enhancing the overall look.
Okay, so he's very clear. So too is Dr. J.
She booked Balenciaga, the hottest yet most controversial runway in Europe, thinking the risk would pay off. But when she arrived, the magic didn't happen. Cameras flashed, and instead of gasps of admiration, there were murmurs of confusion. Her face looked different, too tight, too lifted, the kind of different you can't blame on lighting.
Her eyes look more open here, and they look more like almond shape or like squinty in the after picture. And I believe that's because
the outfit was supposed to scream avant-garde. That white oversized wrap, slicked back hair, minimalist glam. It should have been a showstopper. Instead, it drew attention straight to what she didn't want noticed. The stiffness, the tension, the hollowness around her eyes.
Maybe I take it back. I'm not a fan of your work, but she does look better. Then going down the...
Social media pounced. Within hours, comparisons flooded in. Before and after shots, slowed clips, unfiltered angles. The Meghan who once photographed effortlessly now looked like a statue trying to remember how to smile.
Rhinoplasty. So do you guys see that this is wider here and narrower here, and you can see more?
Then came the real chaos. Leaked unfiltered images. No retouching, no perfect lighting. Just Meghan in raw daylight. And baby, those photos lit the internet on fire. Gone was the smooth-skinned Duchess we'd seen in glossy spreads. This was a woman showing every tweak, every stretch, every ounce of fatigue.
App where I create my thumbnails that allows me to put images side by side, which I have noticed somebody already stole and posted somewhere else. But anyways, I'm going to show it to you guys. And this little bit here has seemingly...
Fans who once defended her started asking questions. Why does her face look so different? Did she lose too much weight? Is that Ozempic? The glossy illusion collapsed in seconds. Now, guys, I'm no surgeon, but plenty of experts weighed in. Cosmetic specialists from both sides of the Atlantic broke down her new look like a case study.
Here, where the bridge here it starts narrow and it goes big like this, and here it's like narrow all the way down. It has more structure, that's what I'm trying to say.
One noted the lifted eyes and sharpened jawline, results impossible to achieve through skincare alone. Another pointed out her shortened upper lip area and a changed earlobe position, classic indicators of a facelift. And if you look closely, you'll notice the mid-face tightening, the smoother forehead, the almost glassy skin texture. That's not aging backwards. That's intervention stacked on intervention.
You can see a little bit of a tear trough here. And what I would do is just do like a tiny little drop there. But here...
Thing is, this isn't Meghan's first transformation. She's been fine-tuning her face for decades. Early photos from her 20s show a soft, rounded beauty. Fuller cheeks, natural freckles, a broad smile that felt approachable. By her Suits years, the features sharpened. Nose refined, chin contoured, teeth brightened. When she joined the royal family, she reinvented again, elegance over sex appeal. Subtle makeup, every hair in place. Each chapter in her life came with a new version of her face, like a seasonal rebrand.
Where in the before picture, she doesn't have that. Now let's go down to the lips. So here we see a longer distance from the bottom of the nose to the top of the lip.
But the Paris shots stripped all that control away. For the first time in years, people saw Meghan unfiltered, and it terrified her.
And I think a little bit of lip filler. We see more of the pink. Do you guys see that? More of the pink of the upper lip, where here it kind of like slopes down.
This is someone who's built her career on precision. Every photo is approved, every narrative curated. But when those candid images spread, she couldn't contain them. Insiders say she was devastated. Reports claim she cried after seeing the photos circulate, feeling exposed and betrayed.
Forget about that. Look at her chin. Look how wide it is. Wow, that's wide compared to the before picture, very narrow, pointier, right?
And honestly, it makes sense. When your image is your armor, cracks feel like wounds.
Square.
So Angela Levin, no, this is not my area of expertise, but you have been looking into this for some time and you believe it is true that Meghan Markle has gone under the knife.
One well-known British surgeon said she'd likely had an upper and lower blepharoplasty, basically eyelid surgery, combined with a neck lift and mid-facial tightening. Across the ocean, a California expert echoed him, noting an elevated lip line, refined nose, and what she called strategic facial contouring. Translation? It's a whole architectural project.
Because certain things have changed quite significantly, and she's that sort of woman. She's going to do it. I mean, the easiest one is to talk about teeth. When she was younger, she had gaps.
Another expert pointed to her jawline, calling it too crisp to be natural. The symmetry looked manufactured, perfection that almost reads as robotic. You can tell there's been serious money and planning involved. Back in the early days, the tweaks were gradual, small changes that added polish without erasing personality. But over time, those tweaks turned into reconstruction.
It's all a lovely, shiny smile, so that's that. And then, but actually more important again, is the face of
her latest look doesn't whisper maintenance, it shouts metamorphosis. And it's not just about appearance. Experts say what we're seeing is panic surgery. Procedures driven by fear of fading relevance, not confidence. Meghan's not enhancing her beauty. She's chasing a reflection that keeps slipping away.
a bridge that was too defined. So they worked on that, and they worked on the side, and all of the freckles which they used, the skin looked flawless.
Hollywood is brutal, my friends. When your entire brand is built on being flawless, one bad picture can feel like a career threat. Meghan's world, the red carpets, the cameras, the critics, doesn't forgive time or texture. But here's the cruel truth. The more she tries to fight age, the older she looks.
Dr. Motiki, who actually wins loads and loads of awards.
That's the Ozempic effect everyone's talking about. Rapid weight loss that hollows out the face, exaggerating surgical work and leaving you looking tired instead of toned. It's the new Hollywood epidemic, and Meghan seems to have caught it.
She had definitely a nose job, and that made it smaller and neater, and so she was pleased with that. But
you can see it clearly in her cheeks, that drawn, sunken contour that used to be plump. The skin looks stretched thin, almost fragile. Experts say when you lose facial fat too fast, especially after surgery, it can create that wax doll effect.
Her bosoms, her breasts, and that she did plant them. We saw it when she was...
And baby, that's exactly what people saw in Paris. Her body might be slimmer, but the cost is written all over her face. What she thought was refinement came off as exhaustion. And while all this was happening, her empire was quietly crumbling. The podcast deal, gone. The Netflix hype, faded. The Hollywood buzz she built after the royal exit, evaporating. Meghan's career thrives on attention, and lately, attention's been running low. So what does she do? Reinvents again.
It's not something I know for myself here, that it's very easy to take them out. And that's what she wanted, because, you know, I've seen when she's very flat.
Only this time, instead of rebranding her projects, she rebrands herself. Literally, Paris Fashion Week was supposed to be her big "I'm back" statement. New face, new wardrobe, new attitude. She thought aligning with Balenciaga would scream relevance, a calculated move to step into elite fashion circles.
Trying to get into the world of being a success. And she had implants on her breast, she says.
But instead of rebirth, it read as desperation. People didn't see a confident woman reclaiming her power. They saw someone fighting to prove she still had any left. Within hours of those Paris photos dropping, social media went feral. The memes, the side-by-sides, the savage captions, it was open season. People compared her to everything from marble busts to runaway mannequins. Comments flooded in.
When she was doing things like opening boxes and smiling at people and trying to sell lots of money. But, you know, now...
She looks older, not younger. Why would she do that to herself? And the worst one? She ruined her face chasing fame. Even fans who used to defend her were lost for words. The consensus? Meghan didn't look like Meghan anymore. She looks like an idea, one manufactured by fear.
She doesn't want that sort of thing anymore. But now she is in her 40s. He said that she's obviously had a bit of Botox, not very much.
But the problem wasn't just what people saw, it was what they felt. That energy she once carried, warm, relatable, a little mischievous, was gone. In its place was a forced confidence that came off brittle. The smirk looked practiced, the eyes tired. The woman who once lit up a room now looked like she was surviving the spotlight, not enjoying it. Balenciaga didn't elevate her, it exposed her. Every harsh flash, every candid frame became a magnifying glass.
The doctor is Dr. Vantan Madrisosian, and he said in 2018 he would...
What was meant to scream high fashion instead whispered, "Help." And oh, the irony, guys! After years of speeches about privacy and media abuse,
the top of her nose is more refined now, absolutely, and much more rotated. I can't quite see how you rotate a man, but...
Here was Meghan, posing, smiling, and orchestrating the very chaos she once condemned. That quiet Paris appearance? There was nothing quiet about it. Every step was choreographed. The leaked hotel, the tipped-off paparazzi, the front-row seat placement. This wasn't invasion. It was invitation.
Suit. She had a wide emerald bulbos, what she calls a...
Her relationship with the press was never about boundaries. It was about control. When she lost that control, the facade cracked wide open. Insiders say the fallout behind the scenes was emotional chaos. She reportedly broke down when those unfiltered shots went viral, calling them cruel and distorted.
And then with Harry in 2017...
But the truth is, they weren't distorted. They were just real. And for someone whose image has always been armor, that reality hit harder than any headline. Every ounce of power she once had came from presentation. Without it, she felt naked, and not in the glamorous way. Friends say she became withdrawn, frustrated that people didn't understand the look, but people understood. They just didn't buy it.
Makes me a little less convinced that she had some sort of nose job in a way, because if you would fix this, why don't you fix that too?
The backlash wasn't just about beauty. It was about hypocrisy. This is the same woman who built a platform around authenticity, body positivity, and self-love.
Your lips like that, your nose does tend to move in a particular way where this sort of slope thing could disappear. I mean, that's valid.
Now she looked like she'd been swallowed whole by the very machine she warned others about.
Plastic surgery police here, despite the title of this video. I'm not really the plastic surgery police, but I always find it interesting what people are focused on.
Her supposed empowerment brand started to look like a performance piece in denial. The podcast canceled, the Netflix buzz fading, the public sympathy long gone. Suddenly, the woman who once represented rebellion against the crown was rebelling against herself, and you could feel the desperation radiating from every photo.
Over all this because it just makes her look pretty. I mean, both of these doctors thought she was a very attractive woman, very glamorous, but she just needed a bit here and a bit there.
Plastic surgery analysts went deeper. They broke down frame by frame. The brow elevation, the eyelid exposure, the narrow bridge of the nose that seemed more sculpted than refined. Some even noted the shortened philtrum, the space between the nose and upper lip, a classic lip lift marker. Others saw the telltale vertical tension under the ears, proof of a neck lift incision. It was textbook precision work, the kind you get from top surgeons who specialize in celebrity reinventions.
Nose, and it was a desirable straight profile.
But even they admitted the balance was off. One Beverly Hills doctor said, technically flawless, emotionally vacant. And that line hit home because it summed up exactly what people were seeing. Then came the Ozempic chatter, the celebrity miracle turned menace. That rapid, hollowing weight loss can make any face collapse. And Meghan's had all the markers. The tightened jaw, thinning skin, that unmistakable tension around the mouth. Combined with recent surgeries, it created a look that screamed maintenance overload. What she saw as discipline, the public saw as decay. Instead of glowing, she looked drained. Instead of radiant, she looked replaced. Ozempic might slim a waistline, but it steals the softness that makes a face human.
That she's doing this now, and that the reason that she's bowed out from the spotlight over the past few months.
If you trace Meghan's timeline, there's a pattern. Career shift, image overhaul, criticism, rebrand. It's the same cycle on repeat. When Suits ended, her face changed. When she joined the royals, it softened. When she left the monarchy, it hardened. Now, with Hollywood slipping away, it's been resculpted again, as if a new jawline could rewrite the narrative. Experts call it image addiction, the compulsive need to fix the reflection instead of the reality. And Meghan's reflection keeps moving further from who she used to be.
She acknowledges that, so she knew she had to come back with a more high-end fashion look, and this was the big launch.
The public's verdict was brutal. Online threads flooded with disbelief. She looks 10 years older. Too much filler. Why mess with perfection? Even tabloids that once worshipped her beauty ran think pieces titled, "The Tragedy of Meghan's New Face." For someone who once prided herself on relatability, this was the final disconnect. She no longer looked like the woman people rooted for. She looked like a warning sign. Relatability was always her secret weapon. When she first entered royal life, she felt human, a breath of fresh air among marble-faced monarchs. But now, the irony is brutal. She's turned into exactly what she once disrupted, an untouchable figure curated to the millimeter. The freckles are gone, the expression fixed, the warmth replaced by sheen. You can't connect with porcelain, and Meghan's face has become just that, porcelain perfection hiding panic underneath. Paris should have been her victory lap, a new era moment. Instead, it became a mirror, and not the flattering kind.
So I think that they were not very impressed by it.
What's quite interesting, I think, when you look at all of this, that she is definitely suffering.
That night showed the world the cost of chasing control in a world that feeds on imperfection. Her beauty empire, her narrative of empowerment, her reinvention streak, all cracked under the same flashbulbs she once commanded. And when the crowd stopped clapping, all that remained was silence and speculation. Sources close to her say she's in one of the hardest professional places she's ever been. The brand deals are drying up, the media sympathy's gone, And even allies are stepping back. Because now, Meghan Markle isn't seen as inspiring. She's seen as unreachable. Behind the designer gowns and luxury veneers lies something no surgery can fix: emptiness. A woman who built her empire on control, now realizing she's lost control of herself. And that's what makes this story more than gossip. It's not just about Botox or Balenciaga. It's about what happens when a person becomes a performance, when every flaw is filtered out, when every imperfection becomes a crisis. Meghan's tragedy isn't what she's done to her face. It's what fame has done to her spirit.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and make sure you rate and review. I'll take 5 stars, if you may.
And is probably in one of the worst professional places she's ever been.
You can tighten a jawline, but you can't tighten peace of mind. You can lift your eyes, but not your perspective. You can fill your cheeks, but not the emptiness fame leaves behind. The saddest part? She could have owned it. She could have aged with grace, shown women that evolution is beauty. Instead, she chased illusion, the digital perfection that devours authenticity.
Podcast has been effectively cancelled, that she had Confessions of a Female Founder. Netflix is looking for first deal.
And now she's proof that when you try to sculpt approval, you end up carving out your soul. So guys, whether you love her or not, there's a lesson here. Validation fades, perfection cracks, but authenticity, that's forever.
It's released. She's in a really bad way, and I know that I do say this quite often, but I do think the money is drying up as a couple, and that's why they now want reconciliation.
The story of Meghan Markle isn't about a facelift. It's about the cost of chasing the mirror. Every new version looks more flawless and less human. Maybe one day she'll step back, breathe, and realize she never needed to be perfect to be powerful. Until then, we'll keep watching the transformations, wondering if she'll ever find her real reflection again. And as always, peace out, Seshers.